All right, so now we're going to get into our last module here, which is price. All right, so here are some of the kinds of questions that we're going to be asking. So you're going to want to ask, what would you take? We're going to talk about the low blow and the piecemeal. So here, the first question that we're going to be asking is, what's the lowest that you would take? If I was to come out there today and write you a check, what's that lowest number we can get to? And so when you ask this question, they might say something like, I don't know, or I haven't thought about that. So even if they are motivated, this question could make them a little uncomfortable. But this is a question that you definitely have to ask. And again, you don't want to ask this question in a threatening way. You want to just be as polite as possible and ask the question, but don't dance around it. Just sort of ask them what's the lowest number that they'd take and get an idea of where their mind is. But just don't be afraid to get an answer of, I don't know. So when they tell you that, the best thing that you can do is kind of just hit them with that low blow. Hit them with a very low number that really, quite frankly, might even make them angry. And so by doing this, this is going to elicit a response from them. So for example, you might say, oh, I think, maybe it's worth $90,000, and where someone may have not been motivated to give you a price, they might say, oh, well, it's worth at least $120,000. And so there, when we have a person who's not really willing to give you a number, they're not really sure what it's worth, now suddenly you're going to get that kind of response, and oftentimes you'll get that number that's really that low number that they're talking about or that they would really want to take. So now we have a better idea where we're at. And next we're going to just kind of use piecemeal assumptive closes. So this is going to kind of go into talking about the taxes, the kind of work that's going to need to be done on the property, everything all together, what's going to need to be done, how much is all that going to cost, and how much am I going to actually realistically be making. So basically you're using this to kind of determine how much work's going to need to be involved with the property and how much it's going to cost. So that way you can actually get to the number of what the property is really worth after all of those costs. And the next thing that we want to make sure of is if we come into an agreement, can we go ahead and move forward? So if we can get up to that price, can we do a deal? So these kinds of questions are going to really let you know where you're at. And it's also going to sort of help you gauge whether or not you've addressed all of the objections. And then finally, if there's still work that needs to be done, you need to find out what the actual issue is. Is money the issue? Is there something else that's holding them back? And so if they're still hesitating and they're still not 100% sure, you really just have to find out what it is that's holding them back. What is it that's keeping them from doing the deal right then and there? So addressing this is going to help you. So this is something that really needs to be addressed before you can close the deal. So once you've addressed any of the concerns that they have, everyone should leave happy.